well, bro, your ex-girlfriend made a video saying your D was small. I was like, I don't have any exes. It is the anger, it's the insecurity that allows me to do things I've never done. If I didn't have haters, I wouldn't be as far. I was cool with 10,000 a month, bro. And then somebody was like, oh, it's just an I-8. And I was like, fuck, now I need like a 50,000 a month so I can get a Lambo. Well, yeah, it's just rented. Now I'm like, I gotta get 100,000 a month. Right now I gotta make $1 million. Now at $1 million, I'm like, yo, there's people calling shots at 100 million. So I gotta get even further than that. But that's a trait that all successful people have is a big
How would a woman find a guy like you?
Bro, I'd say the biggest thing is I don't know if I'm saying this correct, but and I genuinely sit down and I think, I consult with ChatGPT. I'm like, what's gonna have the biggest shock on the internet? Which car, which watch, this, that, the penthouse, etc.
Yep.
Right. So a lot of people online, they'll cope and they'll say, oh, well, I could buy a Lambo too and I'd be making $1 million a month. No, you wouldn't. Because that's not how the game works. To make $1 million a month plus, you have to have.
Let me ask you this. If you were not doing content right now, what would you do?
Bro, definitely.
What is up, guys? Welcome to Team Basani. Today I got Vincent Fisher, the talk of the town, the internet sensation. A lot of you know Vincent from his transformational video. Like, even though I didn't know you, I knew you, which was stupid. Like, it was like, oh, like this guy, this is the guy, right? And now you've built a massive empire. You have a huge team behind you. You are one of the most well-known guys out here in Miami, I would say, hands down. Not just because you have a bunch of cars, but because your name is just popping up everywhere. I go on any social media platform, dude, it's fucking you. You're there. So you're relevant whether you want to be or not. And we're here to talk. We're here to give out his sauce, his game. And first I want to talk about, like, why content in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing, I've always had a desire to inspire. You know, even when I was a loser, before I got in the gym, before I had a nice life, for some reason I wanted to be inspirational. And I felt like the present me, you know, the kid that was at the bus stop, that didn't get any type of attention, wasn't cool in school, I wanted to prove something to myself. And when I proved something to myself, I wanted to go back and prove it to other people that they can do the same thing. They can build something out of nothing and become important. That's the biggest thing.
So when did you actually decide to start taking content seriously? Was it, I know, and I've studied your content intensely. I know you had a $20 program that was making you a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And was it that first sale that kind of like, oh, this is possible? Or was it even like before that or after that?
Yeah, it was before for sure. I remember around COVID, I started making TikToks, light skin shit. You can probably go back and find some stuff. But yeah, I remember just thinking like, I want to get views and I want to get likes, attention. I've always been, I guess, like fascinated by being known. You know, I feel like that's naturally human. And, you know, my family members, they say, Vince, you know, the world doesn't revolve around you. Attention's bad and this and that. But I always had a desire to do it. So I started posting for like a year, like I said, TikTok bullshit. And I got to a harsh realization where I was like, fuck, is this actually going to make me money? You know, do I need to find another business? Do I need to do something else? That's when I tried the reselling, the drop shipping, the day trading. But the $20 fitness program sale was kind of like the symbol of hope that it's possible. It's kind of like no matter how passionate you are about posting and social media, if you're not making money from it, the passion is going to die eventually. So for me, getting that first sale made me, I'd say, overly obsessed with the gym. I ended up going from 135 pounds to like 193 in a year. And that pretty much kicked it off, bro.
I've seen a lot of stuff where people are like, this is not possible. You know,
Yeah.
There's no way, right?
Yeah.
What do you have to say to that?
Bro, this is what I have to say. My first 2 years of lifting, bro, completely natural, nothing but mass gainer, fast food. You got to think I was 135 pounds at probably like 5% body fat. I don't even have images of when I first started. But when I got to 193, the average I wouldn't tell with lighting, filters, editing, but I was higher body fat at a higher weight. Now after that, when I moved down to Miami, et cetera, I stopped promoting fitness programs for a reason. Because I knew I stopped messing with the natural stuff and started to look at is my test levels low, et cetera. That's actually why I switched from fitness to consulting. I've never said that on camera, but first 2 years completely natural. And that was what kicked off my brand, bro, that transformation.
So fitness is where you started. And now you're more so into, what is the thing that you're teaching people? Because I know you have a lot of experience in a lot of different areas, like straight up when it comes to, like, I've seen your content, I've studied your content. You have a lot of like actual technical value. Like, hey, this is what you're gonna do. This is the best way to do it. Get them in your DMs, convert on a call. Like, there's actual like solid like stuff that you say.
Yeah.
It's not just like change your life. Like, so what do you mainly focus on now when it comes to consulting people?
Yeah, I mean, so I have a consulting company called Six Figure Fitness. We're on track to do around 10 million this year.
Crazy.
But pretty much we'll take the average gym bro that's in his early 20s, not making money, working a normal job. I'll show him how to sell high ticket coaching online.
For gym programs.
Yeah. So gym programs, high ticket too. So my story, like I said, I started low ticket, wasn't really paying the bills, switched to high ticket. Now I have these average guys like with 500 followers, not bodybuilders, decent shape, gym kids, closing high ticket and making more money than they've ever made. But yeah, Six Figure Fitness Consulting is what I do. My main focus now is, I guess, just building the brand. I'm also starting a software in the background, but like my number one goal is optimization and efficiency, right? So like I want to take all the action necessary to get the best result out of life. For me, what I've noticed is software as a service is a booming industry. I see all these kids that are like 20 years old exiting 8-figure companies. So I'm like, how do I jump on that? Consulting, I want my cash flow to be as big as possible. And hopefully, eventually, if it's not too attached to my personal brand, have an exit kind of like Alex Hormozy and Gym Launch, bro, with Six Figure Fitness.
Cool. And what would you say you dedicate the most of your time to? Is it mainly the consulting and coach? Because you said something that's a lot of people relate to. I'm the same way, but very different. You said that you're a lazy person. And because you're lazy, careful when you say this, like you want to systematize and organize. You're a nerd deep down. And there's that alter ego. I guess I'm the same way, and I think a lot of people are similar. But for me, I don't mind working all day. I actually like it. The main thing that I'm more scared of, I was in a bad situation when I was younger, homeless, all that stuff. But it was the anxiety of not having money. That was like my biggest fear. So you and me operate in a very distinct way. You throw a lot of your money out. Like you spend, and I want to get into it, the money on the cars.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about the one that you just bought. But I also want to learn how much you spent on your business and self-development.
Yeah. So self-development I'd say over 350 to 400,000 at this point.
And what is that in, like courses or mentorships or?
This is in the last 2 years, mainly on, courses, mentorships. I'm not including like business stuff like software and bullshit, but 350 to 400,000 and just literally self-development and mentors. I feel like that's why it's so easy for me to get on the camera. I don't have to sell because I live what I preach. Like if I tell a kid, bro, you have to invest in yourself. You have to find real millionaires. I'm not telling him something I wouldn't do. Like I had this rule when I was 16 years old. I'd never sell anything I wouldn't buy. And that's the principle I live by. So to answer your question, I'm big on personal development and I'm big on spending on brand. So I think it was Hassan Hyder. He's in Dubai. One of my homies now.
You did some content with a couple
Yeah. And he said, you should either invest in education or presentation. And I thought that's a good way to sum up exactly what I've been doing.
It's actually fire.
And I actually sit down and think, like people think I'm just the lifestyle guy that blows money. I'm probably the most efficient at blowing money. I'm like the smartest reckless spender. That's what I call myself. Because before I bought the Hypercar, I was thinking, why not get like should I get a Richard Mille? Should I get something else? And I genuinely sit down and I think, I consult with ChatGPT. I'm like, what's going to have the biggest shock on the internet? Which car, which watch, this, that, the penthouse, etc. So it's funny because my biggest expenses are not lifestyle by a fucking long shot. My biggest expenses are paying my team, ad spend, like actual business stuff. So I've sent my team over $1 million in payroll in the last like 6 months or so. I've probably spent $500,000 on ads in the last 6 months or so. And these are my biggest expenses. Lifestyle. When I get the people want to know the sign-on payment. When I get that $45,000 a month payment at that, I'm like, oh, that's light. You know what I mean? That's
a lot of people can't imagine getting stuff like that. And it's like you're like unrelatable. Like before you were so when you had the Lambo, even like the one that you have for your girlfriend, then you had, I think, the Aventador, right? The SVJ is like very unattainable for a lot of people, but it's still something that you see a lot of people have. Now you're like in La La Land, like you're in like in a different zone.
Yeah.
So is it difficult to connect with clients, or like how has that changed the perception of how people approach you?
I mean, it's just understanding it. Like when I was 18 years old, if I saw somebody, even with an SVJ, it was completely out of my reality.
Yes.
It felt unattainable to me. It wasn't like I can have that too, because I didn't see me. So like I didn't grow up around people I wanted to be like. I grew up around people I didn't want to be like. And the people I did want to be like were like, bro, 50. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't want to learn from somebody that's about to die. So on the flip side, bro, I just worked my way up, bro. I had big goals and I had small goals in between. I'm gonna map out the buying cars journey. So I bought a BMW i8 when I was end of 18, turning 19. All the money I had at the time, $85,000. I financed an AMG because I was going to do some car rental thing with a friend, Zay, in Arizona. Ended up selling both those cars. I moved to Miami. I put all my money into this Rolls-Royce Dawn. Rolls-Royce was my dream car growing up. After the Dawn, I bought the Huracan because I saw this is good for marketing. It's blowing up the brand. All the videos are going viral. And then I upgraded the Dawn to a Phantom, the Huracan to an SF90, SF90 to SVJ, SVJ to Scion. Bought my girl a Urus in between. But yeah, I think cars are the single-handed greatest marketing tool that anybody could have access to, but you have to be able to back it up. Kind of like with dating. If you pull up in a Lambo, it's just the hook. It's kind of like it's the hook, but does this dude have substance? Yep. Right. So a lot of people online, they'll cope and they'll say, oh, well, I could buy a Lambo too and I'd be making $1 million a month. No, you wouldn't. Because it's not how the game works. To make $1 million a month plus, you have to have a business mind behind it, and that's what people don't understand.
A lot of people get the car and they think that there's two ways they think about it. Number one, oh, I can rent the car, which if anybody is in car rentals and stuff like that, I have a car that I rent out. I just happened to luck out on it because I got a guy that I bought the car originally, it was Urs, and then he wanted to rent it monthly. So at first he wanted to rent it for a couple days. This is a guy that had a bunch of cars, and then now he's been renting it monthly for a year now at like $12K. Now do the math on it. I'm sure you know it's a massive profit margin, you know, and I don't really have to worry about it. So that's the only rental I'm in. But if I had to just rent it on the streets, it's a nightmare process. So that's one option. That people think that they're gonna meet people and they're gonna meet you because you have a Lambo. But ironically, you probably understand this. When you have nice cars, people expect you to pay them. Oh, Vince got it. Yo, you got it, bro. We good? We're on Vince's tab. Like it's just gonna be that. So I think it's actually the backwards effect, and a lot of people end up getting a nice car. They end up trying to. It may motivate them a little bit, but a lot of times it can create a lot of anxiety and pressure, and it ends up causing them to sell the car or ends up getting them broke. But I do agree with you. Cars are the number one, especially out here, especially for the internet. People see the car that you're in, and with you on a daily basis, they're seeing these cars. It's a big statement. If it's random cars here, random cars there, they might think, oh, it's rented. But with you, it's consistent. Let me ask you this. What comes after the cars, though? Are you thinking yachts? Are you thinking jets?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking yachts and jets, but the biggest thing with the car, like I said, I look at it like a marketing tool. So like I said, my biggest focus is my software. Okay. I want to touch on the point that you made about how you rent out the car and it gives crazy cash flow. My business philosophy is that if something doesn't appreciate and have equity, it better be giving me crazy ass cash flow. That's how I think of my business, Six Figure Fitness, right? Because I know it's attached to my brand. I know it'll be hard to sell. On the flip side, what I am focused on and investing in is we put like 50,000 so far. It'll probably be 150,000. I've gotten the best engineers, the best AI engineers, tech engineers, software, all that stuff. And we're building the next, it's Trainerize. A gym person would know this, but it's kind of like an online platform where people create programs. And I thought like whoever made this wasn't really in the online coaching game.
It hasn't had the success that it should, I feel like. And this has been around for a while, Trainerize.
Yeah. I think it's had success, but the thing is like the owners, they're not in the game, so they don't care as much, right?
That's what I mean, yeah.
And it's kind of like my goal isn't to be another Trainerize. My goal is just to make something that's completely different in a different market, right? So like, I know for a fact that's going to be, and we can look back on this clip, just like I have clips of me saying I'm going to be a millionaire. I know for a fact that's going to be my 9-figure exit. Okay. For sure, without a doubt. My goal, I've never said this on camera. My goal is to be on the top list of the world's richest men. Okay. And it's a crazy call out to say, but I know it's inevitable because of my personality type. Like we mentioned, you mentioned being lazy a little bit. Like I'm a lazy hard worker. What I mean is I wake up at 12. Like I don't wake up when everybody else wakes up. But every single waking hour I have, even if it looks like I'm being lazy and procrastinating, not even just me, I'm using the genius of AI now. And I'm analyzing. I'm like, how do I grow my business? How do I propel everything? I'm constantly focused on building the system to be more efficient. Like all I did, up all night till 3 a.m. was, bro, I'm learning about AI DM setters. I'm like, if I'm at 3K a day ad spend now, and that gives me $500,000 a month from DMs, then if I have an AI DM setter, I don't have to cap at 3K. I can do 20K a day ad spend. I'll just need more closers. But I'm always thinking like this and optimizing, right? And one of the things that drives me, bro, is when people undermine my intelligence, right? I've noticed when I do good things, like I'll buy a nice car, I'll change lives. People always try to tear me down and discredit me, but that actually fuels me.
You're very easy to target.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you're a sharp dude. You've got nice cars. You've got a good relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You are the almost when you're too perfect and when you're too like established, it's like people want to hit at you like it's the guy that like looks normal, like the guy that's not necessarily threatening. Like people don't necessarily go after him. They feel bad when you've said this too, where it's like when people are not taking shots at you, it's a very, very, very bad sign. So on a day-to-day basis, I get a lot of hate comments. I get a lot of like, but actually people DM me like shit. Like my girlfriend doesn't want to talk to me because of you, or my boyfriend has been watching your content and it's fucked our relationship up and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is good. This is good in a way because people are actually taking action towards what I'm saying. They're implementing what I'm saying. Even if it may not be correct or the outcome may be negative for somebody else, that person, they believed it and they're doing it. So tell me more about how you used, because I'm very similar to anger to fuel you or hate to fuel you. Has it ever gotten to you?
Yeah, no, it definitely gets to me in a way that will never break me. I have an unbreakable soul.
But what if you can be transparent, what really offends you the most?
Bro, everything. I take everything way too personal. That's why I'm successful. I've said this in a podcast before, but most people aren't successful because they don't take anything personal enough. A girl leaves them. They go, oh, maybe she just wasn't the right one. I'm going to find another girl. No, the bitch left you. You got to take that shit personal and use that anger as fuel. Your friends that didn't believe in you. Yeah, my friends don't believe in me, Vince. I'm like, why don't you have a drive and a fire to fucking prove them wrong, right? Even when my mom was like, Vincent, you need to go to school. It's not going to work. I was like, bet, kick me out. Kick me out, see what happens. I'm going to be a millionaire, right? Like I took everything personal and that created, I'd say insecurity. I'd say that 100% got to me, but I transmuted that into my craft. I transmuted that into my drive. I didn't take that energy and go egg a bitch's car. I didn't take the energy and start fighting my friends, right?
Yeah.
I took the energy and I focused. Yeah, and every human has this ability. So that's the biggest thing for me. And what drives me is ego, bro. I've had times where I was about to fail too. When I first came to Miami, I'm buying cars and stuff. Like, I've never failed to have to like sell anything, knock on wood or whatever. But, when I'm at those times, I get this ego that thinks, wait, what if all those people, what if they're right? And then I get so fucking angry and pissed off, I'll grind on my laptop endlessly and I'll just fucking break records. Like, it is the anger, it's the insecurity that allows me to do things I've never done. If I didn't have haters, I wouldn't be as far. I was cool with $10,000 a month, bro. And then somebody was like, oh, well, it's just an i8. And I was like, fuck, now I need like a $50,000 a month so I can get a Lambo. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just rented. Now I'm like, I got to get to $100,000 a month. Right now I got to make $1 million. Now at $1 million, I'm like, yo, there's people calling shots at 100 million. So I got to get even further than that. But that's a trait that all successful people have is a big ego, and we're competitive, bro.
100%. I think you have to think that you're better than other people. There has to be some level of belief. Let me ask you this, okay? My biggest motivator for me, sounds weird, it was breakups. Breakups fucked me up. Like seeing a girl that I really loved not want to be with me, like pissed me the fuck off. Because like you said, I didn't have the logic, like she's just, it didn't work out. Like I was like, this bitch chose somebody else instead of me. She's going to go talk to somebody else instead of, it killed me. Part of it was like sadness and depression, like I'm not gonna, and then the other part was like, fuck this guy. I'm gonna get more famous. I'm gonna get more successful. I'm going to make sure that she cannot open her fucking phone without seeing my face. So for you, what would be like the core? I know your upbringing was very like, it's very similar to mine. Your father passed away. You don't necessarily come from like dirt poverty, and you had to kind of create an escape for yourself, an excuse for yourself to kind of push. You put the pressure on yourself if you the way that you said it. Your mom didn't necessarily like when you talked about how your grandfather was like, oh, you're making money. That struck me because my mom was the same way. When I started showing her how much money I was making for my business, she's like, are you doing something illegal? Like, what's going on? Are you going to get sued? My mom freaks out. She's very conservative. But what was like your one motivational factor? Was it just the attention? Was it the need to like, it wasn't anything with breakups, right?
No, it was rejection, bro. I couldn't even get a breakup. I'm like, how the fuck are guys getting girlfriends, bro? I'm a loser. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was definitely rejection. It was the same thing ego-wise where if a girl rejected me, it was just kind of like, it was a long-term game, bro. I knew it was a long-term game. And I even know still that long-term game, I'm not even going to be petty because that gives the girl an escape. Yep. It's like if a girl rejects me, I'm going to be the nicest, most polite guy in the world.
You already
and
lost.
At that.
In a situation when she walks away, the best move is just to be cool and be calm.
For sure. It's the biggest thing. And a lot of guys make that mistake and they're all like petty and they're bitching to the girl and et cetera. You've given that girl an escape from torture now. I told my girl this the other day. I was like, every single girl that's in my past is suffering. But here's the good thing I'll tell you, bro. I don't have an extensive past of messing with hoes. I'm just going to say it straight up on the camera. And I feel like that's my biggest superpower because I see that being the downfall of a lot of men now.
Lust, I think, and temptation is... Talk about that more.
Yeah. The biggest thing I'll say is because when you start building a brand, people look for every single angle and target to discredit you, to shut you off. I saw this video. It's kind of like, well, bro, your ex-girlfriend made a video saying your D was small. I was like, I don't have any exes. I have no ex-girlfriends. You know what I mean? Like, my girlfriend was the first girl I said, you know what? She's not leaving my side. I'm working. She understands that. Yeah, I'm going to make her my girlfriend because it keeps me focused. But I don't have any past girls that can say, oh, Vincent did something to me, this, that. I have no downfalls. So that's my biggest superpower. But my goal in life is optimization. I like setting a goal and completely focusing on that goal. Everything that I do is on purpose with that goal. So it's not really my purpose to mess with hoes. You know what I mean? Or, at least maybe now, I don't know, it's biblical too to focus on your path. So it's not something that interested me enough because I had older brothers that did all that shit.
Okay, so you said it kind of at the end there. You saw your older brother, and I've seen it. Like, you talked about how he did cocaine. Is that correct?
Yeah, just party shit.
The party shit, right? And all that, which is keeping real, guys. Like, if you've been to college, don't fucking just... We get it, right? I was a nightclub promoter back in the day, okay?
Yeah.
So I've seen and been around all that stuff. So you saw that and you basically realized like, hey, this is not good. A lot of guys don't have that experience though. Mm-hmm. The majority of men, I think, this is just my belief, they fuck up their lives because of temptation. Mm-hmm. They may buy that car not for the marketing, not for the business. They buy it for other women. Mm. They buy it to impress girls. They use it to impress girls. They don't take videos of it. They don't market it. They don't do it. They just keep it in their garage and they use it to take their girl out and whatever it is. And that's what it is. I want you to give some advice for the younger guys that watch. Like, I have a lot of young guys that watch my stuff and they want to be successful. What's the main reason? To get a hot girlfriend. Like on the core of who they are. It's what it is. Because if I were to tell a lot of guys, hey, I can give you $1 billion, but you can never have sex again, they wouldn't. A lot of guys wouldn't take it. Women probably would, but a lot of guys wouldn't because we're driven by that testosterone, by that need to reproduce. Yeah. What's some advice you would give to an 18-year-old guy? He says, hey, Vince, I want to get a hot girlfriend. I'm not making a lot of money right now. What's some game that you can give me?
I'd say the biggest piece of game is the only male-female dynamic that's going to work is the woman chasing you. Even in a relationship, women are attracted to men that are focused on their purpose. My girl is like dying for my attention. I'm just working, even in the relationship. So you can do that in a relationship, but a lot of guys, like, they think you're going to get a hot girl by chasing the girl. A lot of it's just assumption too. You got to believe you're that guy. You got to be focused on one mission and purpose. And I always, if you look back to the book, The Way of the Superior Man,
great book.
You have to look at yourself like a train on tracks, right? If you're going to get off the fucking tracks to go chase some bitch, the train's going to crash, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to be focused on what you're doing, and they're going to naturally want to jump on and come to you. If they're not following the protocol, they got to jump off. That's how my relationship works, So I'll get comments and they'll say, oh, you're cucked by your girlfriend. She's a gold digger, this, that. I'll be like, that's the exact opposite of the dynamic I have. And that's the biggest advice I give. Like, the cliche quote, you could spend your time chasing butterflies or build a garden. Yeah. The reason I have no desire to chase hoes as well is because through self-improvement, I knew that would lead to me getting any girl that I wanted. And when you could get any girl you want, there's no more desire to get girls. It's kind of like money. It's like if you've made millions of dollars already, you have no desire in chasing $50 bills. It's
like going to the club when you're 21. It's like a weird example, but like I remember when I turned 21, I'm like, yeah, like now I can get in. I don't really... It like turned it off for me a lot. When I was a lot younger, because when I was like 18, 19, getting in the club, I'm like, I'm doing something I'm not supposed to be doing, that I had to work towards, that I had to get this fake towards, blah, blah, blah. But let me ask you this, right? So this is like, I'm going to come back to this over and over. How did you turn off the lust? How did you turn off the temptation? That is what a lot of guys struggle with. And they spend hours of their day putting time into that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'll tell you how it started, bro. When I was, when I was a kid and a virgin, right? I was kind of like, man, I want to get ass. Every guy's main focus. I went on a semen retention journey.
Crazy.
And I was kind of like, it was for 2 years too. it was a mental test. And I was kind of like, I wanted to hold back the most, I guess, fleshly thing to me, which is fucking jacking off at the time, So I got off the porn, I got in the gym, I grinded, I locked in, I focused. And after 2 years of kind of proving that to myself, the contract I made was, I'm not going to jack off. I'm not going to, chase hoes, any of that stuff till there's an actual model in my bed that I'm smashing, right? It's funny to say on camera, but then I completed that mission and I was kind of like, I've done this. I didn't need many experiences. You get head once a few times, you fuck a girl once a few times. Like for me, I was kind of like, I don't have a desire to keep doing this. And then I had the desire to find a good girl. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people think that the prize is in fucking some girl that's an 8 out of 10 that's fucked 500 other dudes, but I don't see that as a prize or an accomplishment.
Correct.
What drives me is doing shit other men haven't done. And that comes down to every area of my life. I like to live on the highest fucking floor because other people don't live on that floor. I like to have the most expensive hypercars because other people can't have them. I like to have the big following because status is a flex. Same thing with my girl. My girl's a representation of me to some degree. And I just got a good girl and that's my flex, bro. That's the biggest thing for me. A
lot of guys, what you said was very interesting because you're 100% right. Once you start getting with women, I always tell guys it expires. Like the whole, I'm going to hook up and hook up and hook up and do this forever. It never lasts. That whole thing, you eventually, I don't want to say you get sick of women, but you understand this is the same thing. Also, you see nightclub promoters with 20 girls at their table and stuff. Dude, that gives me anxiety. I'm like, dude, that's such a headache to deal with. It's let me ask you this. What you said earlier, how the man should be chased by the girl, you already know a lot of women are going to freak out. Okay. Men should be chasing us. What do you think about when women say that? Like a man should be chasing, a man should be putting the energy forward?
A girl doesn't even know what she wants, bro. My girl doesn't even know what she wants. My girl's like, you need to be softer. You need to be emotionally vulnerable. You need to give me more attention. I'm like, everything that you're telling me right now will lead you to being unattracted to me. So
it's almost like they train you to not. It's
exactly, bro.
A girl will train you to be the guy that she doesn't want.
But it's called a shit test.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, do I have a strong man that's unwilling to bend or fold and is still going to focus on his path? It's kind of like the train analogy. A girl's going to tug on the train and see, is this motherfucker going to fall off track or is he going to, continue to go forward? But girls inevitably lead men to be in the most unattractive versions that they can look at. But I know as a man, what made my girl attracted to me is how I was before. And I'm not going to bend or change. I've done self-development in between. Of course, there's past that I've grown, but I'm not going to change the core foundation of who I am. I'm pretty traditional. The reason I spoil my girl so much is because there was a time when we first started dating for 3 months. I was like, I'm not taking you to no damn nice restaurants. I'm not getting you shit. I said it just like that too. And I was like, if you want to leave now's the time because I'm not focused on any of that stuff. Can we go to the movies? I was like, you think I'm going to go to a fucking movie? You think I'm going to sit there for 2 fucking hours and eat popcorn like I made it? No. You know what I mean? Now, was it a little bit fucked up? Because when we first started dating, I was thinking about time and dates and planning. Yeah, I guess you could say. But in a sense, she just stayed there when it made absolutely zero sense. What a woman's most attracted to is drive and a man that knows where he's going. It's not even money itself. You don't really need money to get a girl.
There's a lot of rich losers here in Miami. You know what I mean? So I agree with you.
And girls don't even think in terms of this dude has $1 billion, this dude has 1 million. I'm going to get with unless they've been fucked too many times. I'm just going to put it like that. If a girl's a good girl, she's just like, oh, does he give me nice experiences? Is he a leader? Can he provide? That's what girls are looking at. So one thing that I respected about my girl, I respect my girl, is that she wasn't fucking around like that. And every past dude that she was with, it was to have a relationship, right? It's Miami, right? I'm not expecting a girl to be a perfect virgin if I'm not a perfect virgin. You got to have under fucking 3 to 5 bodies. You got to have under that for sure. But it's just, I think it's more about the intention of the woman too. And I think it's biblical. If you're focused on your path and your grind as a man, God's going to send you a good woman. And a lot of men fail that test too. A lot of men, they get a good woman and then they continue to get, caught up in lust and bullshit. So I've had those tests too. Every man has them, but I'm just focused on my purpose, bro. That's the biggest thing.
Young guy comes to you. I guess this is my biggest thing that I tell young guys too, and I want to know if you agree, honestly. Mm-hmm. I tell a lot of young guys to not focus on women honestly, I tell them go celibate for a little bit. Celibate's the wrong word, but semen retention is the correct thing, right?
Yeah.
Don't deal with women women are luxuries. And I tell them this too. The good girl is going to be a gold digger. Like whatever you want to label as, any girl that has her head on straight is going to understand that if I'm going to build a life with you, we need money. Because having a kid, diapers, food, place to live, after school programs, like what if she's a good girl, that's her mindset. And she's going to be planning for those things. And that requires sometimes you to be around, but more so money. It requires money is the oxygen that fuels the child's development, especially early on. So when guys are like, oh, she just cares about your money, like, dude, most fucking any girl with her head on straight, the only girls that don't care about money are like teenagers, like 15-year-old, 14-year-old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
bro. I got a good thing to say, bro. Like, a man's success comes down to the woman. I see a lot of dudes that are broke as hell and their woman's like, I don't care if you have anything nice. I'm going to be here no matter what. What does that do to a man's drive? Now, on the flip side, if I've got my Russian model, like, I have the Urus, but I kind of want to Cullinan too, and I want this bracelet and, ooh, Birkin bag. I'm like, people call her a gold digger. I'm like, good, we both like nice shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my personality. I like nice shit. You like nice shit. Let's fucking tango. You know what I mean? So
she's a crazy marketing piece, honestly. Like, on a very technical level, your girl and her car is crazier. I mean, obviously people understand this. Like, she herself has more than the majority of dudes out here. And that's a representation of you. Like, oh, this is, because like a guy sees your girl, is like, yo, I want to hit on her. Gets in the, I'm like, you're not even going to have a chance, bro. It's you're not even there. But let me ask you this too. For women, do you have any advice for women when it comes to how would a woman find a guy like you?
Bro, I'd say the biggest thing is I don't know if I'm saying this correct, but chastity. Like, if you want to find a guy like me that's super successful, we're super selective. It's like little things, bro. Before I met my girl, I've been on dates with girls and they're like, oh, your legs are kind of like my 6, 7 friends' legs. Done. Didn't talk to her again. I've been on a date with a girl or whatever, messing with a girl. You get head once, it's a little bit too good. You're like, who the fuck taught you this? How much dick you been sucking?
Don't be good at head.
You know what I mean? That's another thing too. And it's just like, you know, I'll be in the Lambo with a girl and she's like, oh, I'm 29. Done. Like, it's very fucking selective, bro. So when I tell you my girl went through a sequence of tests, I couldn't even tell you what the test is. It's just, as a man, you know, subconsciously. And I look for every reason to label my girl as a hoe, to label my girl as get out of my life, because I felt like at that time, you know, I just wasn't focused on women and she kind of passed every test. And I was like, okay, it's good to have her here. So the advice to women, I guess, would be you just need to be, it comes down to who you are. It's not what you do. You just need to be somebody that's focused on a relationship, that's focused on finding one man, and not out clubbing and partying and bullshit, not overly loud. And that's it.
Do you think that women should be focused on, we have this whole idea of the boss babe now. This whole, kind of in 2015, the boss babe trend really took storm. And now women are like, I want to be a boss babe. But what I see over and over again, they're not happy, typically in their 40s and 50s, which is at a time where it becomes really difficult to date, right? And find those guys. Yeah. So if you have a 21-year-old girl, should I go the traditional route and try to find a man that can be a provider? Or should I go the boss babe route? What would you say?
You know what, bro? I think what creates attraction in a relationship is polarity, is that we're exact opposites. So in my head, the idea of having an intelligent woman that's focused on business sounds good. When I tell you to do the fucking laundry, if you don't do the laundry, you're out. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I have a life that already demands my full attention, my full focus, and it's on business. And that provides for everything else in my life, my girl, my mom, etc. I don't need a fucking business partner. I just really don't. I don't even like talking to my girl about business. What makes me attracted to my girl is the polarity. I'm focused on bullshit, legal letters, etc. People trying to slander my name, take me out. And my girl's like, butterfly. You know what I mean? It's just like, it kind of brings a softness to your life. I wouldn't say I'm an evil person, but I'm pretty just stone cold focused on my path and work. But my girl brought a certain sense of purity to my life, right? It makes the mood and the setting of the house different. And that's kind of what I look for. I'm not sure if I answered your question. What was the question, or did I go off topic?
It was mainly, okay, so first and foremost, I understand your dynamic because it's the same way that I am. Like, I don't necessarily need a female business partner. It's not going to really benefit me. Like, her making an extra $100,000 a year, it's not going to change our lives. It's not going to be like, wow, thank you so much for this. Unless she's making like 50 million a year, like something outrageous, like, okay, we got to switch up the dynamic now. They're like, maybe I'll help you with the business, whatever it may be. But for most girls, they're struggling to find relationships. Or they want to find a guy that can take care of this and do that and be focused and all that. But they don't know the formula. They don't have the blueprint. And this is what a lot of women come to me for. Like, how do I find the dream guy? I want to know from your perspective, more so in like, should they focus on work while they're doing that? Like, should they try to become the boss babe and earn an income? Or should they just focus on dating?
Bro, you know what I think? It's going to be completely off topic. I think the girls that focus on the manifestation, the vision boards, and just energy, I think that's what girls should be doing if they want to find a good man. Because at the end of the day, it comes down to the man. You know what I mean? Like, my girl's been in, I think two other relationships, I guess you could say, just completely disrespectful, harsh after a certain point. And people go, well, she's a bad girl and she's evil. No, what people don't get is that two different men can get two different sides out of the same girl.
100%.
So my girl's mom told her, Ksenia, like, I've gone down the routes I don't want you to go down here, etc. One day you're going to find a man that's just going to put you in your place. And that's just it. I'd argue it's easier to get the girls that are stunning. People say, oh, well, your girl's not stunning. Like, people don't know filters from real life. If you're to see my girl in real life, you'd be like, what the fuck? Is that a fucking filter? But it's easy to get the girls that are overly attractive is because it's because most men are scared of those types of girls, bro. Like, it actually takes some balls to go up to a girl that looks like a princess and go, that's mine. Kind of like the same thing with supercars and hypercars. People are more likely to steal a Hellcat than they are a Phantom. When my Phantom's parked in the hood, people get scared. They're like, what the fuck? So it's the same exact thing. Like, I think it comes down to the man. And I think it comes down to knowing what you want in life. And the woman should be focused on energy, purity, signs, because it takes discipline as a woman to not open your legs a ridiculous amount of times. You know what I mean? So that's my biggest advice to women, I'd say. I don't know.
People have respect for you. That's why you get... So a lot of guys tell me, like, women are trash, women are garbage, blah, blah. I don't really have really negative experiences with women. I don't, because I'm already approaching in a way where, like, they can recognize, okay, this guy is not an idiot, whatever it may be. I might not be the best guy in the world. I might not be the best in everything, but at least they know I have some level of substance. So now I don't really deal with negative women, really negative people in general. And it's kind of like what you said before as well, because people are bringing you their best side, but I'm telling you the reason why. It's because they respect you. It's because you have something that they want or they want to learn from you, so on and so forth. Let me ask you this, just to switch gears a little bit here. What is the main thing that you're teaching younger guys now? Is it really the making money? Is it creating the lifestyle? Is it the fitness? What would you say the main thing is?
Yeah, I mean, on a surface level, you could say making money. But the biggest thing that breeds these transformations, I've moved like 50 people out to Miami this year, bro.
That's crazy.
All the motherfuckers you see driving in C8s in Miami that are fitness guys they've probably been in my program. Anyways, with these guys, you think I'm teaching them a money strategy, which I am. That's a huge part of it. But I always say success is 95% mindset, 5% strategy. So I really sit down and I change these men's self-image, bro. I change how they see themselves first to the core principles of success that built me. A lot of guys, they'll see themselves as a minimum wage worker and they'll think a blueprint's going to get them to $10,000 a month. It's not. It's a change in self-image first, then it's a blueprint. So these guys that aren't used to money at all, I'll go, I get it, bro. I'm going to ask you to get on the phone and tell people, hey, listen, it's 1 to 2K. And that's going to be scary as shit. But I sit down, I fucking hypnotize these dudes and they're like, yeah, Vince, 2K is fucking nothing. That's light work, etc. They're like, bro, Vince, I got my first client. Bro, you think it's going to be slow after that? I'm like, so you got to fix that. Now you're saying it's fucking slow. Now you're messing up, bro. There's plenty more where that came from. If you got one, it's only logical you'll get more. Bro, I teach men optimism. I teach men faith and belief. And of course, there's a systemized blueprint behind that. But that's the biggest thing. I build men, bro. A lot of men in my program, they come to me, their girl just left them. Even their wife just left them. Bro, they leave with more money, a better relationship, better friendships, and just true fulfillment. I teach men my life philosophy. And if I teach you everything that I believe, that's only going to lead you to getting my results. That's what people don't understand about life, right? Like, I hear some people say, oh, I got great advice from a homeless dude. I'm like, no matter how great the advice is, where do you think that's going to lead you? To homelessness, right? Yeah. So, that's my biggest thing, bro. I teach men my life philosophy, and that's how they transform.
So you've talked about, so everybody has like an obstacle, right? At a certain, like the first obstacle might be the 1 to 2K. And the way you've described success is it's not linear, it's quantum leaps. What is the biggest obstacle that you face? Probably the most recent quantum leap, if you will. Like the way that you describe your success, and correct me if I'm wrong, is like you're working, you start to get comfortable in a way, and then you have to do something to kind of push yourself out of it, more so recently, and then it's a big jump, and you have a huge breakthrough record, this is what happens.
Yeah.
What's the biggest obstacle that you are facing or have faced in business?
You know, the funniest thing, the Scion wasn't a big jump. For me, like the SVJ, look at it like being on bench press, bro. And just put in another fucking 45 plate on if you never have before. So you could be doing 225 and just chilling. And there's comfort in that, but comfort doesn't create growth. So for me, investing in, bold lifestyle moves, investing in mentors, systems, literally just putting myself on edge is what creates the biggest jumps. Like I had to put myself on edge to force myself to make $100,000 a month. Like here's my life philosophy with success. Before you can grow, you have to burn every single bridge behind you. Like I dropped out of high school at 17. I knew if I really wanted to be a millionaire, and I wasn't just talking, I had to eliminate the idea of even going to school and getting a normal job, so I dropped out. I now have a competitive edge over everybody else that's my age because they have a plan B, I don't. I don't have a diploma, I'm not getting a job, right? On the flip side, when I moved to Miami, right? That's another, I guess, burning a bridge. I'm not going back to Arizona. I'm stuck in this city that's higher difficulty. I'm either gonna pull it off or I'm gonna drown. Right? Same thing with investing in a lifestyle, like you say, the cars, et cetera, mentorships. I'm putting myself in positions where it's do or die. Like there's no if, ands, or buts. There's no plan B for me. I'm either going to come out of this a stronger person or I'm going to completely collapse. And glory to God, I haven't collapsed yet. But I think that's the same exact path that it takes to climb even the highest levels in life. If you study successful people's stories, and Elon Musk, Larry Ellison, if you look at the bets these people have placed, they're all in ass motherfuckers. So like, how are you going to see somebody who's ultra successful that's all in and have plan Bs? That's my competitive edge, bro. That's the biggest thing I'd say.
So you just focus on one thing, dial in. I guess like for me, speaking personally, like obstacles, like the business doesn't really challenge me. Like the business that I do and the work that I do, it's very structured. It's very easy. It takes a lot of work, but it's easy in a sense. But the thing that hurt me the most in business was losing relationships, like losing friendships. Like I would build, and I know that you dealt with this and I kind of want to hit on it. I would build a guy up in my business, in insurance stuff. I'd build him the fuck up. He was not making money before. I'd get him to like 100,000, $250,000, whatever it is. Sometimes even more, sometimes over 7 figures. And they get ego. They get too cocky. They get crazy. And then they end up trying to do things on their own, which is fine. I'm like, you want to do your own thing? That's fine. But here's what I recommend before you do that. They don't listen and they end up burning and failing. And they end up coming back to me with a lot less than they left with. And they also come to me with trauma. They also come to me with like, hey, like this didn't work out. And it's almost like an awkward, it's not like bad, but like, you've talked about this with your sales team, and how you were generous and how you were taken advantage of and how you gave to them. And
I wouldn't say I was taken advantage of. I wouldn't say that, but I was very generous and they left, right? Like that angered me, but I love my sales team, bro. I love my guys. I want to see them win at whatever they start. But I did take that anger and that fuel and put it into systems and grind my ass off. I don't necessarily, like I can't hate my guys because my guys were there when I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, bro.
That's good. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I know that they were building with me when I didn't know what I was doing. I knew they left me when I had a record month. So in my mind, I thought, if they were to leave at any time, that would be the good time. Now, am I still angry at them? I'm not gonna fucking take that on them. I'm gonna take that on my craft.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna build a business that doesn't depend on people. That was my biggest test. I didn't tell you this, but I had my sales team and my fulfillment team leave.
That's terrible.
So when you have a sales team and a fulfillment team and you have thousands of gym men that need service, bro, that was what taught me the most about myself. And I looked at it like a test from God.
Those are 2 sectors. You have 3 sectors that you operate.
3 sectors.
Okay.
Marketing, sales, fulfillment. That's
okay.
it. That's all coaching comes down to. Now, when sales and fulfillment left, bro, I'm learning about SOPs, KPIs. I'm learning about maturity models. I'm learning about all the management stuff. That's what separates me from, I'd say, everybody else in the consulting space. People don't know I'm a businessman behind the scenes.
A lot of people don't know, like, they think you're just an offensive asshole.
Yeah.
But there's genius behind it. And if they watch this and they see this, and as I've like delved into you more, I'm like, yo, this guy's like he's very, very good. Like he's very nice. He has a good faith in his beliefs. He treats his girlfriend well. He's good to his family and friends. Like, not trying to gas you up, but like, you come off like a dick.
Yeah, for sure.
But I also want to, I want people to understand why. Like, why do you do that?
Yeah, it's marketing, bro. It's the biggest thing. No, it's not that it's not my personality. It's an alter ego, though.
Yeah.
I'll just say things that I wouldn't normally say with the purpose of offending people. If my views are lower, I literally do this with my girlfriend. Like, when I lived in Brickell and I was at at my other apartment. I'd be in the dawn. I'd be like, Cassini, our views are low. I need to talk shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, whip out the camera. I'm like, you getting McDonald's is like me going to the nicest restaurant in town. Bro, I just rage bait the fuck out of my viewers.
That's
right?
hilarious.
I did it again with my cameraman. We were filming ad creatives. I was like, bro, Danny, have I been being too nice? He's like, Vince, I mean, you were kind of talking more shit back then. I was like, bro, roll the camera. Let's talk shit. I was like, this is a $3.5 million car. I have one and you don't. Now, am I going to say that I didn't look up to people that are in the game marketing and doing their shit big? This isn't a new it's not a new idea. It's not my philosophy.
Right.
But I implement that and I play the role of what people see me as. I will feed into the agitation and the hate a little bit because that's top of funnel. People don't get, like, if we were to get informative, there's really 3 types of content on Instagram or YouTube or whatever you use. There's top of funnel content. Let's get attention by all means, whether it's pissing people off, making people laugh, entertainment, drama. Second is, nurturing and belief breaking. Right? It's kind of like, okay, we know who this dude is now. We've seen him, but who the fuck is he? What's his life philosophy? Can I be like him? Can I not? It's reshifting the beliefs. Once the beliefs are reshifted, then you have authority content. Then you could talk more about the actual vehicle and what you do and give tips and tricks where people have free value and they come back. So the reason I see most marketers fail now is they'll go, well, Alex Hormozi made $100 million. He just gives value. No, he doesn't just give value. He has a lot of good stuff on mindset, nurturing, belief reframing. He has a lot of top of funnel stuff. He leads with authority if I've exited my companies. You can't just put on glasses, start talking informative and expect to make billions of dollars. It's not going to happen.
The one thing that Alex Hormozi does, a lot of people say that too. Like, I'm glad that you pointed that out. The flex is the exit that he had earlier. It's, hey, I made $100 million. Like, what's up, guys? If you don't know me, Alex Hormozi, I made $100 million. Like, that's the Lamborghini.
Exactly.
It's exactly. Then nobody talks about that. Nobody like recognizes that. I'm glad that you said it.
You know where I recognize that though? Grant Cardone.
Okay.
When I was 17 years old, I'm like, who is this old guy?
Yeah.
He's like, bro, don't buy this Lambo. It's stupid. Don't buy this Phantom. It's this jet, even more stupid. I'm like, but why does he have them?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's marketing. You know what I mean? And Grant Cardone tested this. He showed nothing lifestyle on his page. Now, this is from a third-party source. I could be completely wrong. But he had a period where he tested showing no lifestyle stuff and went, all real estate, his sales dropped. And then when he went back to showing more lifestyle, the jets, the life, his sales spiked.
And he did that a long time. I remember this because he got it from Cleveland. So he went to Cleveland, Ohio. There's a dealership there, North Olmsted, and he bought 2 Rolls Royces, one for him and one for his wife. And that's when he started pushing that type of content again. And he made a video. It was like don't buy this unless you got money to buy 2 in 1 week. That's
Yeah.
And it fucking did numbers. That shit did on YouTube, on Facebook. That thing did numbers. So 100%. Like, lead with authority. So you were saying top of funnel content, nurturing, and then what's the third one?
Authority content.
Okay.
This is where you got the whiteboard out. You're a little bit more informative, but you can be entertaining with any of these things. I have a video of me on a whiteboard. Make sure I'm in a stringer. Make sure I'm talking shit. I'm a little bit unprofessional, so it's still entertaining. I'm like, bro, if you're selling low ticket, if you're selling $20 PDFs.
This is the one you did on YouTube recently.
Yeah, I'm like, how long is it going to fucking take you to buy a Lambo? So I'm still being entertaining while I'm teaching. But, I'll have my marketing guys say, Vince, you need to do more whiteboard tech. I'm like, bro, fucking.
Your hook on that video was insane because you said, if you want to be successful, you have to watch this video. Stop looking at the stuff on the side. This is like, you have to watch this.
Yeah. You know what people don't get into about marketing, bro? The best marketers now on the internet have studied Russell Brunson. Yes. I'll give him his flowers. Yeah. Because that video, like my funnel video is Russell Brunson framework. Alex Hormozi, when he made, $100 million in a weekend, that's Russell Brunson perfect webinar framework. So I studied all these people, bro. I've read all the books. I've done the homework. And, I play the role, bro. Yeah, I play the role of what I'm supposed to do. And what sells is the emotional side. That's the biggest thing. What you're selling in any business is an escape from pain and a path to pleasure and desired outcome. Whatever you're selling is just the bridge, but you're not really selling the bridge. You get what I mean? So that's what I do with my marketing too. With my actual Instagram, when I am talking, I'm stabbing pain points and reframing beliefs. Okay. So I won't just talk shit for the purpose of talking shit. I talk shit, but that's the mask, and it's really nurturing disguised. So here's what I mean. If I have a video saying like, this is a $3.5 million car. I have one and you can. If you didn't have the mental strength of a fucking tissue, you'd believe you can do this too. But what am I teaching? I'm teaching belief. So the weak-minded people that weren't going to buy anyway are going to go, wow, he's full of himself. The kid that's like me at home is going to be like, fuck, that's fucking, this motherfucker's inspirational, bro. Yeah, I like what he's doing. So every video of me talking shit, if you go back and study it, There's some type of purpose. There's some type of sniper with that video. I'd say I'm one of the guys that posts the least and makes the most for what I post. Now, excluding clippers and all that stuff, because I have people repurpose stuff, but that goes into leverage too. Bro, my Instagram, I post once every fucking 5 days and pull in just ridiculous amounts. Sometimes we do 6-figure days of me not even posting. But the reason we do that is because all of my posts are structured. My Instagram itself is a funnel. So like there's some videos that are talking about the vehicle, like I said, the authority, the nurturing, there's a lot of lifestyle. On surface level, if you don't know shit about marketing, you're gonna go, he's a lifestyle page. But that's the most dangerous weapon, and that's why so many of my guys win in my group, bro. No matter how many angles they try to take of me of this dude's a scammer and this is that, you cannot deny the 11 client wins highlights. There'll probably be 12 before we fucking finish the podcast. You know what I mean? These guys are sending wins on wins because I teach them my life philosophy and marketing strategy. And you document
it too. With the podcast, like you've been doing them recently. I haven't seen a lot of people do that. It's very, very good. Like how you like talk to them and you're like, hey, how was it like? What was the process? What did you learn? So on and so forth.
Yeah.
With marketing, right? You have 3 divisions. You have the marketing, you have the fulfillment, and then you have sales. What is the one that you put the most attention towards? Where you put the most cash towards everything?
Bro, whatever needs the most attention.
Okay.
I'd say that's the biggest thing. Now, one of my guys, shout out to Yash, he owns fan bases. He's telling me like, Vince, your dispute rate's great, bro, for the entire consulting industry. Like I have one of the best chargeback rate, bro. I don't really get fucking chargeback. Now for the amount of volume, of course, you're going to get a few. It's just a numbers game. But if I notice early on in consulting 2 years ago, I'm getting a lot of refunds. My focus is now on fulfillment. And I'm like, what can I do? I have a great product, bro. I have pipelines for delivery. I have onboarding call with Vince, onboarding call with another success coach, completed these tasks, completed the next task, follow up 1, 2, 3. Nobody's going to buy my thing and not be blown the fuck up or like, get this shit done.
Yes.
You're getting homework, worksheets, you're getting calls with me, you're getting the group call. Like nobody's going to fail unless they quit, unless they don't do it. You know
what do you do with the people that do fail? Like how's your mind? Because no matter what, no matter how good you are, there's always someone that's going to fail because they don't, whatever, their own self-doubt. Like how do you deal with that? And what do you?
I mean, it's always come down to them. Even when Alex Hormozi made the pitch where he made $100 million in a weekend, he's like, I'm going to be honest, well, half of you guys aren't going to do this, but you said that, right? And that's the truth. That's the harsh reality of the consulting and coaching space. Some people aren't going to do it. But even me, I've invested in self-development programs and haven't done it right away. I just paid $20,000 on a YouTube consulting thing and they sent me all these outlines. I haven't done a fucking video of that shit, bro.
The problem with info products, I think, and this is like just, you can't reach through the screen and be like, dude, we're supposed to fucking post content. You're supposed to do this. Get the fuck up. You can't do that. You have to like do it with words and texts and emails. And that can only be, turn off my phone. You can't get me, bro. You can't get me. It's only so effective. I mean, with the clients that have succeeded for you, what do you see as like the trends for those guys?
Bro, determination. Always. They're so determined. Like, Vince, I'm going to fucking kill it. I'm going to do it. Determination, optimism, ability to handle stress. It's so many different things that success is involved in, and that these traits are what I teach men. I have one client, I made a deal with him. I was like, bro, if you close 2 clients by this time, I'm going to take you out to Miami for a weekend. That was what I spent the last few days doing. He just left.
That's sick.
But while he was here, he was like, well, Vince, I stopped posting for 2 days because my dog died. Now, I'm in the Phantom with 3 other guys in my group. They're like, motherfucker, your dog dying doesn't mean your business stops. Keep fucking grinding. I have killers around me, bro, and I've created these killers. They're like an extension of my mindset. They're like, bro, what do your fucking dog dies? Now your girl can't eat, bro? What the fuck are you doing? Yeah. And I'm saying the same shit. I'm like, yeah, your dog's gonna die, bro. Grieve, get over it, but you can't stop the flow. So many men are unsuccessful because they're inefficient, bro. Well, Vince, I had a call and the guy said no. I'm done with coaching. I'm like, bro, a lot of dudes are just weak-minded, bro. So I got to teach men mental strength. I'm like, bro, fucking keep swinging. Vince, he left me on scene. What do I do? I'm like, fucking text more people, bro. But it's so hard to fail on social media. Like, I'm going to give you the complete sauce, bro. If you're posting multiple reels a day with some type of structure like the one that I gave, if you're posting multiple stories a day. Now, for me, I'll give free sauce too. Every single morning, I start my story with a poll. Everybody who votes on that poll, I have my team warm outreach to. I don't even know what you post. It's me that warm outreach is. Anyways, all these people get hit up and all these people are put down my funnel, and it's unlimited people that are booking in calls that are screened and qualified. And then I kick off the rest of the day with the rest of the stories. But warm outreach is a big part of my business and brand. But if you're doing the stories, you're doing the posts with some type of structure, you're advertising under every post, and you're reaching out to absolutely everybody that engages. Bro, if you do that for 30 days, you're not gonna fucking fail. I literally have a written contract. If you follow what I teach you for 30 days to the T, and you don't get a client, money back. Bro, and I don't get refunds either, bro, because these guys know if I didn't succeed, it's because I didn't do it.
The formula is really simple. It's just doing the stuff. People say that social media is saturated. I don't believe it at all.
Nah.
I think that our space also is not saturated whatsoever because it's really just beginning. And the level of saturation that you see is just because there's the most amount of people. But next year it'll be even more people, and the year after that it'll be even more people, and everyone will say it's saturated and it's dense. So you really have a system in place. I love, like, this is the stuff I love. Like when you give out the actual nuts and bolts with it. It's very fascinating. So your strategy is warm outreach. Another one of your strategies is DMs. Now, let me ask you a very technical question. Do you think that people doing the forms is the best for getting conversions, or is it DMs straight to the DM with the setter, or is it like some kind of mix?
It's just all the machines have to be working together. Alex Hormozy stuff, I don't know if you said this in 100 million offers, but online there's organic content, there's warm outreach, there's cold outreach, there's paid traffic. When you simplify it to that, it's like, I don't do cold outreach, but every 3 areas, all the other 3 areas I do. Okay. And it's just, I have all those machines pumping and flowing, and I'm thinking every single day about how to make them more efficient.
Okay.
So like I have a real business, bro, where I haven't taken a sales meeting in like 6 months, bro.
It's crazy.
In 6 months.
So you have a lot of assistant coaches coach on behalf of you, and you
No. I mean, fulfillment calls I'm on. Like I'm on call. I'm on the calls I want to be on. But in terms of sales, like I have, like my sales side is completely automated, delegated. I'm only getting on the phone when I want to. My fulfillment side, I'm involved in if it's people that are one-on-one, higher ticket. My marketing side obviously comes with podcasts, but even podcasters leverage, right? You take this podcast, you give it to 3,000 to 5,000 clippers. Now it's all over the internet. Like Correct. Even when I bought the Scion, like I look at money like ammo. Grant Cardone said this: money is useless unless it's used. I have money, but it's a war chest, right? That's how I look at it. I don't look at it like to sit there and do nothing. So like when I bought the Scion, for example, I also put a cool 10, 15,000 behind some clippers. Because if I'm buying this car, I want the car to be everywhere. Yeah. And then people are like, yo, Scion, yo, that's to do with the Scion, yo, Scion. It's top of funnel. Yeah. So now people actively right now, even watching this podcast, you're at the second step of the funnel, right? You're being nurtured. You're going through, oh, this dude's actually a cool dude. He knows what he's talking about. Then there's the authority content. And before you know it, you have a nurtured buyer. But it's not just as simple as client acquisition. There's nurturing in between it, right? Like a lot of my ads are retargeting, bro. I'll just retarget people that engage with my stuff. So I don't really run ads to cold audiences, bro. Okay. These are people that have seen me, that know me, that trust me, and it's just kind of like, yeah, it's different stages to it.
Let me ask you this: people are always interested in your financials. Okay, you're killing it, dude. You're doing very high numbers for the industry that we're in. What do you just spend all your money on cars? I'm just gonna set it up like you spend all your money on cars. Is there any that you save? Do you have any in this investment trust over here? I know you talked about it a little bit in private equity and stuff, but can you break it down for me a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as liquid as most people would think, but I'm also liquid enough to handle, 6 months or so of bullshit. I guess
you're cash flow heavy.
Yeah, I am cash flow heavy. And the biggest thing is like, for me, I make sure I'm using my money, right? Like for fan bases I've invested in, obviously. For my software I invest into. Yes, I have a war chest of a lot of money. But I keep my money flowing, bro. That's the biggest thing for me. I had somebody ask me, they're like, they were on an interview. They're like, how much money's in your bank account? Now, number one thing, I don't keep a lot of money in bank accounts.
Neither do I.
I keep just enough money to keep my business flowing. Correct. And that's usually going to be 200,000 at any given time. And that's, bro, it's crazy to think about, but that's where my business is at now. Mm-hmm. When you look at like a Scion, a $45,000 payment, 200,000 needs to be in there. When you look at ad spend, paying off credit cards. Yes. But yeah, I'm pretty cash flow heavy, but I'm also liquid enough to handle a struggle. I guess I'll put it like that.
Yeah, that's the exact same as me, almost to a T. Yeah. Same with the money too. I don't really keep more than that because my businesses, I need to have money for leads, for costs, for ads, for contracts, all the nonsense that comes with my type of business. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. If you were not doing content right now, what would you do?
Bro, definitely software, bro. Like kind of like what I'm edging into.
Yeah.
But I'm big on efficiency, right? I don't want to grind the wrong ladder. I'll hear some people online that are credible sources that will say, oh, people chasing cash flow are dumb. It's equity. No, they're not fucking dumb. You need both. Like, have a cash flow business and have an equity business. The people I speak to, like, I have one friend in Dubai, his name's Abdul, 27 years old, exited a $100 million company. Meaning, like, I'm like, Abdul, what's it like when the fucking wires hit? He's like, yo, one was 26 million. Then another one was 13 million. Then I refreshed. So like when I'm hearing about that stuff, I'm like, oh fuck, I need to get into equity, bro. But these guys, he told me his business strategy is like real estate dumb. That's different flows down. That's your money is a stream and a river. So I'll take my money from consulting, and yeah, I've done fucking crypto and bullshit. I don't even count that. But I'll put it into the next business. For me, my biggest bet. You only get so many bets in a lifetime. My next biggest bet is software. After the software pops off, yeah, then it might be crypto and real estate, but there's a ladder. It's this business makes cash flow. That gets invested into another business, which may even go to another business. And then you have investments for the extra cash and the storage. But my money is a war chest, bro. That's the biggest thing for me. Could I buy more supercars right now? Yeah, I could probably fucking buy another hypercar. But the thing is, I like to keep my money moving, and I don't think that'd be efficient.
So right now you're looking for, the main goal for you right now is influence. The main goal right now is spreading more awareness towards what you're doing.
I guess influence, I guess I'd be lying if I said my goal wasn't more money, but it's not about the money itself, right?
Influence creates really anything. Like if you have influence, you can create money. If you have money, sometimes you can't create influence.
But now I'm seeing like the richest dudes I know aren't even known, bro.
Yes.
You be like, who the fuck is that guy, bro? But they know paid ads.
We sit on very different sides on the business aspect because I'm very conservative with my businesses. Like I invest a lot of my money. That's how I make the majority of my money now. The guys that I'm partnered with in business do a lot, well over $1 billion a year, right? And you would never know them. And they drive 2016 Tundras.
Damn.
Like they don't drive crazy cars, but they got jets. And these are the richest people I know in the United States. They own the NFL teams. If you look at like, I do insurance. Insurance companies, Progressive Stadium, like banks, and the way I got into insurance was I used to be a nightclub promoter in Cleveland way back in the day. And this was a time when Cleveland was actually fire. So we had LeBron. LeBron was there. Kyrie was there. Like actually relevant players were there, right? Now it's not that much, but like I was looking at these guys and I actually got a job at the bar when I was homeless because a buddy of mine that worked at the school gym said, hey, I know you're struggling. Here's a job I can get you. And I was looking at these guys like, dude, these bottles are $30 and they're spending $1,000. Like this fascinated me. It wasn't like an anger thing. I was like, this is amazing. Like the fact they're able to do it. And I'm like, okay, I can't be this dude. I'm not fucking 6'8". Who's the guy that pays this guy? It's insurance companies. That's how I got into insurance. But the money is silent. And it's different. And it takes a lot of time to structure and grow. Like, people tell me, oh, I want to make $1 billion in insurance. Like, well, quick, like you can't do it with just money. Like you need time and you need development. And that's honestly what I focus on the most. So I'm very fascinated with your strategy of it. And it works. Like, it's not like it doesn't work. But my strategy my entire life has been stack, invest, save, structure. Because I see the richest guys I know, these guys destroy anyone I see. They just don't spend, like they're very different in their approach.
I think it was Charlie Monk. I don't know if it was Grant Cardone or who, but it was Grant Cardone. He was like, your first $100,000 all back into you. Now I have a very, very big and long life goal. So for me, I know if the average person is 100,000 back into you, for me, my first 5-10 million is back into me. You know what I mean? Everything after that, like my business philosophy is this, because I'm crazy cash flow heavy. There's some months that, I'll average 20, 30. For the last 6 months, I've averaged 20,000 a day, meaning 20,000 to the floor. Yes, there's been $100,000 plus days in between that, but I got there by investing back into myself, either my education or presentation so much that I genuinely make more than I can spend. But I still find ways to spend it. Now, not on necessarily dumb things. I don't even think people understand that. A hypercar, you're looking at, when you do the math, you're looking at maybe like just under $1 million down below. But is it down below, or am I getting on calls with people that have paid me $25,000 and gone, Vince, bro, the fucking Scion was fucking pimp, bro.
100%.
So like I am an investor, right? But it's not traditional to what you would think. I've analyzed with even ChatGPT and I've gone, okay, is this $1 million better in Bitcoin or is it better in the car? Vince, the car. because your brand fucking lives for it. And I'll deeply look, is this $1 million better in a fucking fourplex or is it better in the car? It's the car.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know, I look at the most optimized route. I've looked at life insurance too, bro. Life insurance motherfuckers run the world, bro. Even like is Patrick Bet-David in life insurance or no?
He exited a company, $250,000. He came to my mentor for the money first.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's two large companies and there's two subsidiary companies. There's Integrity Marketing Group and AmeriLife Marketing Group. They're the two largest groups. The guy that I learned from is the CEO for AmeriLife Marketing Group. Integrity is a large company that's newer. It's investor funded. Patrick Bet-David came to AmeriLife, I think, first, and then he went to Integrity, got a $250,000 exit. And they give you kind of golden handcuffs to where maybe 3 or 4 years you're still optimized and you're still in the company, but they look at a model that they can come in, they can take away from you in a sense, and it'll still run in a productive way. He had about 27,000 agents. This is like my shit, bro. Like I know it the back of my hand. Like I know it very well. But yeah,
I love it.
Go ahead.
I love it, bro. I love it. When I look at success, I look to the world's richest, right? I literally start out, give me the 10 richest people.
He's not even close to the bigger acquisitions.
Yeah. And you know, there's companies too. I can't label that to a singular man. But when I look at the world's richest men that are public, right? If I see that 40 to 50% are in fucking some type of software, tech, AI, I'm placing that bet. So I think it was Samir that told me, you know Samir, the dropshipping dude, bro?
I think he lives here, actually.
Yeah, I think he might live here. I think he just got a spot here. But anyways, he gave a really good analogy when he was talking about the world's richest people the richest people he knew. He said they spend 80% of their time like finding the right vehicle. Like he gave a tree and axe analogy. Yeah. They spend most of their time looking for the best weapon and then they start chopping. And when I heard that from him, I was kind of like, I was already implementing all this stuff, but it gave me another perspective where I was like, yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. Like if I thought life insurance would be the best bet for me specifically, I'd do it. Now, when I look at my brand focus and I look at like a Cal AI, the kid killing it, et cetera, I'm like, okay, I want to place a bet that's similar to that. And I'm going to study the entire market and the industry down to the point where I'm like, okay, well, other softwares like a ClickFunnels are client acquisition, but Trainerize is like a back end for the program. Now, does that make it a better? But this is how I stay up at 3 a.m. all night and fucking think. And I'll place the correct bet. So for me, I don't think that success is about diversity like most people think. They're like, oh, you need 7 business models and this and that. I also have this Airbnb here and that. I'm just kind of like, let me go all in on one thing.
That's the smartest. That is what the richest people do.
For my goal, because to have more in life, you have to be unwilling to settle. If we were to have, I'm 22 years old right now. If we were to have this conversation at 30 and I didn't have a net worth of at least $50 million, I'd kill myself, bro. I'd be like, this is going to be very controversial. The same way I told myself when I was 17. If I'm 25, I wrote a contract. If I was 25 years old and I wasn't a millionaire, I'd kill myself. Like I'm do or die. You know what I mean? Like, and people don't get that degree of fucking hunger. Like this shit is not a game. It's not a game to me. But a lot of people are willing to settle. So if we loop it back to the average person watching this, if you're willing to settle for your job, shit always gets hard. You always have a test of faith. You're going to crumble back to your fucking job. If I know if I have to work a normal job, I'm offing myself, I'm ending my life, then I'm never going to go back, bro. I'm always going to be trying way harder. So that's all it comes down to. I don't even think as I progress over time and learn about success, I don't think humans are much different. I think there's just a certain mental model that'll allow you to win. And you can draw all these similarities to successful people you see in life insurance and any business. But yeah, a lot of people would label my marketing strategy as stupid.
It's not. No, I mean 100%. I'm not even saying this because you're in front of me. It makes complete sense. But you have a plan. You're investing.
And if you look at like if you look at a Jeff Bezos that made Amazon, now you know how they claim, Amazon's unprofitable. Bro, this guy went into fucking debt to like grow his company year over year, obviously to write off some wins and stuff. But he's literally going, it's not that they're not profitable, it's that they invest more profits than they even fucking make to continue to grow the vehicle bigger and bigger. I'm doing the same exact thing with my brand. I'm going to do the same exact thing with my software. And the next bet is going to be infrastructure, I feel like, after software.
The interesting thing you said, like, you go on one thing and you place bet. Life insurance was the best bet for me. But like, take a OnlyFans girl, right? There's girls here that do a lot of money. Would they be as successful in life insurance than OnlyFans? Probably not. Like, take a guy like LeBron. Would he be a better life insurance agent if he went when he was younger? Dude, I'm gonna go life insurance. I see a lot of money here. Probably not, right? He would be better with basketball. So I think it depends on the type of person that you are. I love the industry that I'm in because it's slow and it's structured, and it allows. There's a long-term vision. I also think what you say is not crazy though. I made my first million at 24. You know, I bought my first nice car around then, and I returned it 10 days later because my mentor was like, "Dude, why are you buying this? Like, you ain't got the money for it." I'm like, "I made the money for it. I had the money for it," and I'm like, I cashed out like an idiot. I thought it was cool, you know? And 10 days later, I sold the car. I actually made a little bit of money on it, which was interesting, but it wasn't like that much. It wasn't like a flip, like, oh, wow, that's amazing. I got what I paid for it and just a little bit more. But one thing I did in my entire 20s, dude, I didn't reward myself at all. I threw away my entire 20s. When I turned 30, we came down here, got this place, got a car, 2 cars back to back, and that's what I did. You know, my structure and my advice is very different from yours, but it still works. And what I'm trying to say here is like, there are multiple philosophies for success. But I think that the goals, like what you said, 5 not a millionaire by 25, I was the same way. Actually, I was harder on myself. Like, I'm not a millionaire by like 23, 20. Like, I'm going to fuck, this is not good. And by 30, 50 million net worth, like same thing, you know, it was still very aggressive to me. I guess, what are your next, like 5 years? Can you map it out for me what your goals would be? You said infrastructure first.
Bro, the next 5 years, my only plan is a $100 million exit with software. That's the only plan. My current goals now is get my consulting from just under $1 million a month to $3 to $5 million a month. My goal is to complete the software, which will be done in December, to start building recurring revenue with that. Even if I had all the students in my group now join my software, its valuation would be $35 million. Just if the thousands of men that are in 6-figure fitness use my software, that's already the evaluation. So I'm making big flips, but yeah, definitely I'd say $100 million exit, bro. That's the only thing that I'm focused on. And there was a point I wanted to tap into as you were talking that I kind of forgot. You have to think so damn big. Like, this is what successful people say. I wish I thought bigger. I've always thought so big that, like, even before I'd made millions, even when I had just made 100,000. Right, and somebody were like, "Don't buy that $85,000 car." Like, well, motherfucker, 85,000 is cheap. Even though I only made 100,000, my mind's on millions.
Yeah.
The same way, I have the same philosophy now. It's a mindset of thinking bigger. It's not even about current circumstance. When I buy a $3.5 million car, it doesn't seem like a lot to me, bro. Now, yeah, you could say, "Oh, well, Vince, you make $800,000 a month or so." Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that, but it doesn't seem like as big of a risk that people would say. And I think being cash flow heavy is such a positive, bro. It's such a positive because you're almost indestructible. Like, if I were to choose, if I were to either have 5 million in a bank account or I were to have 800,000, I think I'd choose 800,000 a month, bro.
Cash flow is, in that example, it's better. I'm the opposite of you. I'm very different, you know? Because I invest and leverage the money that I have. So my main source of income now isn't insurance anymore. It's investments. I have saved so much money that the interest I gain on it is extremely large. That's my whole thing. And it's so safe and it's so secure. And it's not like I want to be safe and secure with it. I trade it aggressively, but it's my biggest weapon. Like it's the big Gila that I know I can earn a 10 to 20% on every single year, and it nets me.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean because I did that.
I know you did.
But not at the scale you're talking about. Now, when I first started making money, bro, even when I had like fucking $500,000 and everything they tell you, the fucking IRA,
the financial advisors,
bro, all the shit they tell, bro, these motherfuckers, I'm like,
investing money like that does not make sense unless you have a shitload of money.
You need a shitload,
a shitload. Because,
when you have half, I did everything. I'm like, I came into success thinking correct, right? I'd say after buying a few fucking cars. But when I'm at the point, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do the financial advisor route, etc. There would be good days where the fucking portfolio is up maybe 10,000 or so. And then when I see the money's not moving, I'm like, let me buy a fucking Lambo. Bro, and the Lambo always got me an exponent. I'm not talking about a 20% return, bro.
Yeah, I know.
I'm talking about a 300% return. Well,
because
that year.
You're actively like behind it.
And then there's the behind it.
You just don't have if I have a Lambo in my garage and I do nothing with it, you already had a brand and business. which is what most people don't have or don't know how to create and probably should look to you for.
Yeah, but here's the thing too. I mean, I'd still call myself an investor, right? It might sound, opposite to popular opinion. But what I just told you, if all the people in my community were to join my software, it's a $35 million valuation. I'll show you the math on that. Right, if I have, let's just say 1,000 guys that are active, 1,000 guys that are active. Let's say they all join my $299 a month software. Let's say we multiply that by 12 months. SaaS has the biggest, EBITDA, right? So if we were to multiply that by 10, that's
35.
this.
Yeah.
So you could say, oh, well, Vince, you're not investing your money in, et cetera. But this is equity. It's something that doesn't exist until you exit. Like
No,
I've spoken to people like, there's one guy in Dubai named Thomas Crollo. He came down here. We caught a workout trading dude. It's funny because I was like, when you exit these $100 million companies, is it belief? Is it what it is? Like, Vince, it's all belief. Like,
It doesn't make sense unless you put it together.
It's real when you sell, bro. Like
It has no even like what you're doing is investing into your business because it makes sense for your business. Like if me and you went and bought some L'Oreal makeup right now and we got all this makeup and stuff like that, it is not an investment to us, but for some OnlyFans girl, for someone that does like any girl that does marketing, it could potentially get her a conversation with a guy that could take care of her, marry her. That's an investment in itself. Like I look at girls getting makeup and taking care of themselves in the gym as an investment. You don't have to be a personal trainer to think of the gym as an investment. But what you do is, our strategies are very different. Mine is more aggregating large amounts of money and then leveraging it and then creating active cash flow with the businesses that I have for it. Yours is, tech is a very like volatile object.
Yeah.
The richest people in the world actually do tech, Then right under there are people that own large brands, and there's a plethora of finance, hedge fund, investors, leverage guys like that. So in your aspect, the exits are insane. Like that is the biggest thing.
Yeah. And the thing I love about business is you don't have to be the best to make a lot of money.
Correct.
Like I'll bring this point too. When I was 17, 18 years old, like the only way to make it was to be in the NBA, to be a rapper, to be et cetera. Like, I mean, even now I'm not the best businessman in the world. There's some things I don't even know. But even me not being the best, I've still made millions of dollars, probably over 5 million this year, not being the best, right? So like everybody watching this should be hearing the shit we're talking about and go, I need to fucking start some type of business, bro, because it's the best thing in the world. But yeah, it's funny to hear about differing investment philosophies. When I heard a lot of the philosophies of like keep, save, invest, etc., it was usually from people that were in Arizona that were 40, 50 with 5 million. You
need at least 3 to 4 for that to work. It doesn't. The whole like financial advisor, like you have $100,000, like even if you have 3 to 4 million and you have an 8%, 10% return, it's like $250,000 a year. And as someone that has 3 to 4 million saved up, your lifestyle is probably going to be a little bit more like it's already going to be there because the cash flow stacked up. So it's not going to be satisfactory to you. If you had $500,000 saved up, you make 10% on that, you're 50,000. Like you can't live on that.
And if you look at inflation too, you're already losing 10% a year. So the money's pretty much just sitting there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm big on investing in some type of vehicle. That's one thing, no matter how different everybody's investment philosophies might be, I think that your money needs to be going into some vehicle that's going to get you a return on that money. For me, I found that, and this is, I guess you could say it's a Tate philosophy, but I like to leverage active income as much as possible. I like to leverage my brand as a boost pad, and I'd rather put my money there than, maybe even like a crypto where I don't have market control.
Yeah.
When I bought the Scion, right, I got a pretty good deal on it. I'm seeing the market. I'm kind of like, okay, I got a little steal here. I know I can change the market, bro. I know even if I say it's 4 million online, how long is it before DuPont Registry puts a Scion for 4 million? And then did I not just reshift the entire fucking car market? Like that car is cool. It's a marketing tool. And I know people are gonna have a run with this, but I don't plan on keeping it for more than 6 months because of the miles on it. Shit has 300 miles, bro. I know it's like fucking jumping into a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
But let's talk about cars real quick. I bought all my first cars cash. Like the IA, ended up selling that. Bought a Dawn at the time. Ended up buying a Lambo too. Bro, I lost $250,000 on just depreciation of cars and miles and bullshit.
But you got that back in marketing. And
yeah, I got it back in marketing. But then I went like, if I lost this in cash that was parked, why would I ever park cash there again? You know what I mean? I started financing. So I took my Dawn. It was a down payment on the Phantom. That's half down. Sounds like it's pretty much fucking free. It's what is it, like $6,000 a month to own a 2023 Phantom?
Half down is insane on a Phantom.
It's still
a $500,000 car.
It's still insane to do because I put a little bit of cash on top of the Dawn to buy it. On the flip side, like the SVJ at the time, same exact kind of scenario, but I like to leverage debt, bro. Like people say you're in debt. I'm like, yeah.
No, but that's business. That's business. This is like stuff that my mom doesn't even understand it. Like, like why would I why not just pay it off? Like my mom's like use your active money. Like you have to. You have to even go into debt with businesses. Typically businesses are negative for the first 3 years. Like most traditional businesses, restaurants, whatever it is, debt is absolutely massive. But keep going about your cars. Like,
yeah. I think it's the best fucking debt to have, bro. 100%. Now with this Scion, what I will tell you, I have a really, really good feeling because I saw people, even big guys in the space, I saw them trying to make fun of me.
It's a crazy car, bro. Like it's not common.
Yeah, but even guys that have crazy cars, they'll go, he didn't buy it for that amount, and he either spent a stupid amount or this and that. And it's funny because I'm a lot smarter than people would think, bro. I'm probably gonna make some money on that car, bro. Probably gonna make a couple, I'd say $500,000 or so at the right price because everything's marketing, bro.
The thing is, first off, people can't speak about things that they haven't done. That's the one thing that annoys me the most. Like it's a bad financial decision. Like, dude, like, okay, great. And like you can't even make bad financial decisions if it is a bad financial decision because you're not even in the position to do it, right? There are guys that spend millions and millions of dollars on women, on this, on that. It's all undercover. At least the only reason you're getting hate for it is because you're young. You're young as shit.
Yeah.
Owning a car that's unattainable. Most guys that have cars like that are 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I know you've talked about this briefly, but like you live life every day because you had the health scare and you're like...
Yeah, no, it's a funny thing to think about. I was trying to get life insurance, bro. Funniest thing. I was trying to just fucking load up a policy and get like a fucking $40 million death benefit. Like how many millions can I put into this shit? Like Vince, you could put X amount.
Why did you want a life insurance policy though?
Because I wanted to do the Rockefeller method, bro. Right? Like after I got to $300,000 a month, I started thinking smart. I was like, okay, how am I going to make this last? Boom, let me set up this trust here in Cook Islands. That's going to own another LLC. That's going to be processed through Dubai.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get a bunch of life insurance policies under the trust of every family member. My plan was to just overload one, get one for my mom, get one for my girl. Anytime somebody dies, it's going back in. But I couldn't even do that. Like, Vince, your dad died. You're pretty much set for 50. You're not getting life insurance, bro. Like with your medical history, because it goes down to my dad's mom. And I was kind of like, fuck, well, I got to get a lot richer some other way, right? So I'm literally speed running the game of what makes the most sense for me to change my family bloodline, even if I pass away.
Do you think that helped you though? Like, because a lot of people don't have, my dad died at 46, yours was 55, if I believe. And like, that was like he came out of nowhere, bro. It came out of fucking nowhere, late night, ambulance, like very fast, and like I guess the biggest thing is I don't even think I'm gonna live that long. Like it's not like I have like health problems, I really don't. But I just see how that happened, and I saw how 180 flip. You know what I mean? Like our whole life changed. I think it motivated me. I think it definitely helped me, and it definitely like got me like a lot more aggressive. Do you think it helped you?
Oh, 100%, bro. Tate said a clip where you're not a man if your father hasn't passed. Not that you're not a man, but you haven't experienced the certain side of becoming a man. When you don't have a male role model in your life and they passed away, bro, you have nobody to look to for guidance, decisions. Like you're now the man of your life.
It can cripple you too, because a lot of like look at the violent crimes, the prisons, dude. It's mostly single mothers.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, if you have a strong mindset, if you're not a victim, and I think that the hardest thing that can happen to you is your dad passing away.
I agree.
I don't know. Have you had anything more traumatic than like waking up and there's ambulance, your dad passed?
No, I mean, it sucked. It's not even the actual passing away. It's like when you go to school, you're at a soccer game, like no one's picking you up. My mom had to work all the time because my dad passed away, and I lost my dad, and then my mom worked all the time, so I barely saw her.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very traumatic in the sense of like you have no guidance, especially like when you become a teenager. There's no male authority or figure that's, hey, like this is how you hit a tennis racket or swing a golf club. Like there's nothing.
Yeah.
And you have to basically, like you said, you have to become a man early. You have to start prepping early. You have to start. And then it like was taking care of my mom. Like I had to get which is why I dropped out of college, right? I was had a good setup for med school, phenomenal setup. I dropped out because I'm like, dude, if I do this, it'll be 4 years of med school, another 5 years of residency, By the time I'm making $1 and I'm in a ton of debt, and that debt won't even be like, it doesn't make sense. I'll be making maybe $250,000 to $500,000 by the time I'm in my 30s. I don't really think this makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm from Browntown, Indian family, like doctor, lawyer, engineer, failure. Pick one. This is it.
Yeah.
These are the options that you get. So for my mom, it was like crazy. Like it was like the entire like community was like the father died. Now the kid's fucking, he's doing this insurance thing. He's doing this thing like business. He's working at a nightclub. He's gone on drugs. Like they think that I'm out of my mind. But yeah, dude, it's the most traumatic thing. Losing a parent, like, especially at like a younger age. I think you were 8. I was 12. Yeah. Dude, it fucked me up. Like it made me so angry. It made me so like, but that motivated me too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, biggest thing, bro. And it's a blessing too, because I see so many men that are crippled by their parents. They say most people are chained to poverty through inherited beliefs. So it's kind of like, if I were to have my dad, I know I would have gone to college.
Yes.
And like ended up trying to be a lawyer or a doctor. And Vincent, you wouldn't even see me. You wouldn't know who the fuck I am.
Your life would be, because there would be more stability in your life.
Yeah, yeah.
And that would have helped you in a way, but also held you back. Like you didn't have the pressure, you know?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, bro. But yeah, I mean, I'd say it's the trauma that creates wisdom too, because you have so many questions. What I noticed about you is you're very analytical and you think in 5 years, where's this going to go? I know that before my dad passed, obviously I was a fucking infant, like I was a kid, but I wasn't thinking analytical. Like I noticed the switch from 8 to 9, bro. Like when I was 8, I didn't have any questions about anything. I got my dad, etc. When I was 9, I was like, why this? Why that? Why did this happen? What is this? And it's like that analytical thinking is so crucial to becoming successful. And I remember I was at some like counseling thing where a bunch of kids had lost their parents, right? And we're at some summer camp or some shit. And one of the guides there, I guess, I'm a little kid, and he's like, Vincent, listen, you're very curious. He's like, if you keep the same curiosity in life, I think you're going to end up very successful. And it's one of those dudes that just does his job. Like, but I could tell he spoke that from like a fucking higher power when he said it to me. Mm-hmm. And it really touched me, bro. And I was like, let me stay curious, bro. Let me always ask questions. Like, a lot of people aren't successful because they're unable to listen or ask questions. Like, even as you're talking right now, bro, I'm literally listening and studying and et cetera. And I'm sure you do the same, maybe a little bit. Mm-hmm. But when I hear guys, I've spoken to people whose dads have passed. They don't even fucking listen, bro. Yeah. They're just kind of like, yeah, but also this, that, and shit fucking flies in one ear and out the other. It's like, no wonder you're not successful, because success comes down to a time game too. Looping back to the topic of living a long life, I still think I'm going to live a long life. I don't have any health scares that I'm not in pain or anything like that. I think I'm going to live a very long life, but I also make sure that I'm living life in a way where I'm like, fuck yeah, that was fun, bro.
You're enjoying yourself.
Yeah, that shit was fucking fun. Yeah.
I think another point that you said was like, the reason that it helps so much, it sounds bad. Like, I'm very grateful that my dad passed away in certain ways, because I don't know the type of person I would become if he was there. Like, I don't know how stable we would have been and how good it would have been. And I probably would have been my dad loved me. He gave me everything that I wanted as a child. Like, he didn't like deprive me, you know? Trauma is probably the best thing that could happen, I think, to men more than anything. Like, and then you said this too, give you credit. Trauma creates curiosity, which I 100% agree. The more traumatized you become, in a way, as long as you're able to bounce back, you actually have more ammo because you've been through things that are very hard. Nothing can really be harder than losing a family member. So any business obstacle that comes up, I'm like, all right, well, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I've noticed too. Back to the analogy, one of my guys, I'm dogging him, but about his dog passing away, I couldn't fathom that that's something that would like end your business, bro. But yeah, I mean, when you've had something traumatic as losing a parent, bro, I couldn't imagine losing my mom. I don't know if you had this too. When my dad passed, I was so paranoid of my mom passing away.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because my mom was always at work too. Bro, I used to call her, like, is she fucking coming home? Is she not? Yeah. Like, I was paranoid about the other one going, you know what I mean? So, bro, I know that, bro, I've had times I've woken up, fucking, there's $250,000 gone from my account. I'm like, I don't know what it is. It's like a certain emotional side that's actually detrimental to business you lose when you have trauma. So like, there's absolutely nothing that could shake me. My whole $800,000 a month sales team could leave. My fulfillment team could leave. I could be down $250,000 in an account. But I'm not even going to fucking break a sweat. I'm like completely analytical. And I'm like, why did this happen? What do I have to do? There's still going to be emotion of like, damn, my guy's fucking, man, fuck this. But I'm thinking, I'm planning, I'm analytical. And that's the biggest thing.
Well, you have confidence because you've already done something at such an extreme level. It don't really matter anymore. I want to wrap up real quick and ask you a few questions towards like your message to the world.
Yeah.
The one thing I like about you is that you have a very magnetic optimism. That's what people, honestly, more than anything else, I think people want positivity because life is hard. Life is hard if you're rich. Life is hard if you're broke. Life is hard if you're in shape. Life is hard if you're fat. It's hard in whatever way you want it. But you're so optimistic. I think that like it has to translate in a message. Like, I mean, what's your big message to the world?
Yeah, my best message is heaven and hell are states of vibration on earth, right? I might go into a fiery hell for saying this, but I see so many men that are in a state of near like hell, right? Of just pessimism, fear, anxiety. For some reason, I think it's a God-given gift, but I'll enter these men's lives. A lot of them are in my group. And I see the reality and I bring light to it. I'm like, what the fuck are you stressing about? You got a 2K chargeback? What the fuck are you gonna do? Cry in your pillow? And they're kind of like, oh shit, Vince. Like when I come to them, they're like, bro, what am I gonna do? I'm like, fucking make more money, bro. And
did they ever say, must be easy for you to say, Vince?
I mean, they've said that, but then I loop back and I'm like, I didn't always have this life, bro.
Exactly.
I had the same exact struggles you have. A lot of men think they're a lot different, but we all go through the same shit. And I think the quickest way to finding optimism in your life, to living a life that's worth living, is getting around men that are optimistic too, right? Because I know me specifically, I've always had a self-sufficient fire for some reason, whether that's God-given or whatever. I was always optimistic, but I've noticed some men aren't like that. So those men need to get around men that are self-sufficiently optimistic. And it's better to grind with a team, and that's what leads you to greatness, bro. So I guess that's the message I leave off with is proximity, bro. That's been a huge part of my success. Getting around people that were more successful than me, that thought bigger than me, that handled problems better than me. I know I'm just a ball of energy. And if I put my energy around good energy, I'm going to do good, bro.
How can people contact you to work with you? How can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, you could reach out to me on Instagram. I mean, Instagram mainly, but TikTok, I'm also on YouTube, Vincent Fisher _ FISCHER _ every single platform. We're
going to link all the stuff down below. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day. Guys, appreciate you for joining Team Basani. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you decided to hang out here with us. Until next time, peace.